All right, guys, we're back with another episode. My name's Spencer,
My name's Colby.
and on this week's episode of Drop the Green, of course, we're going to do an overview. Our overview this week is going to be on iRacing, so we'll get into that. And then we'll move into our Phoenix recap and who stood out to us during there. And then we have Drop the Green bets. We're going to look at that. And then, of course, our Bristol predictions. And as always, we're going to close with some stupid questions. And it's time to drop the green. Dude. All right, guys, I apologize. Colby's laughing because we've been at this for forever. I can't get this software to work. I'm sorry. So we're going to have to go without the song, but that still doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't
Let's
mean
go.
anything at
Let's
all.
go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Those were warm because they've been sitting here a minute
Yeah.
because we've been at this for forever. But this week, Colby, who are you, man?
Man, thank you for having me. So, as viewers may know, pod looks a little bit different today. Austin's not here. If you guys know Austin or just a fan of the pod, please just keep him in your thoughts right now. He's kind of going through a tough time. He's got a horrible butt rash he's really working through. So, hope everything goes good there. But, yeah, man, I've been a long-time listener of the pod, so happy to be here.
Awesome. We really appreciate that. So
Yeah.
thank you for being here. I know it was short notice, and still, clearly, I'm working out stuff. I feel like our audio's gotten way better, so please let us know in the comments how this sounds. But every time you fix something, another problem develops, as you know how it is. But this week, episode 5, who you dedicating this episode to, Colby?
So, I guess since I'm filling in for Austin, I'll go kind of into like an old man story here.
Okay.
So 5-car, first thing that pops out to me is, man, that Kellogg's car. Like back in the day,
That's
that
a
Kellogg's
pretty car. Here, let's pull that up for our viewers here. You keep going. I'll pull it
So
up for
Terry
'em.
LaBonnet is who I'm specifically talking about. Nicknamed the Iceman. Okay,
Mhm.
2-time Cup champion, won it in '84 and '96. Hall of Fame driver, 22 Cup wins. He's actually won a race in all series, whether it's Xfinity, Truck, and then Cup as well. And man, I really wanted to pick Terry LaBonnet, not because of the fact of all those accolades, but also it's Bristol week. It's Bristol,
Yeah.
baby. And you might
Look at that. Look at
Oh
that. I
my
didn't mean to
God.
interrupt you, but that's a
that's like,
small picture. But
everybody
yeah.
knows that car.
yeah,
And
I remember having just before, of course, we started collecting diecast, you had the little Hot Wheels of that
Yes.
car.
Yes.
Everyone had it. It was crazy
Yes.
how popular that was to kids. I'm pretty sure that with Kellogg's, you might have been able to win it in a cereal box. Yeah.
Yes. So, a story about Bristol. So everybody knows that Dale Senior quote, like, I was just trying to rattle his cage a little bit.
Yep.
That's about Terry LaBonnet and Bristol.
Okay.
And so when I think of the 5-car, I think of Terry LaBonnet, and because man, he's kind of who put the number 5 number to me on the map. Unlike a lot of posers who might drive the 5-car now.
Oh, he's getting into who
Yeah.
I am dedicating this episode to. And as you know, me and Austin, we had a thing. And so I'm just trying to stick to guys that I've seen race. And the only guy I've ever seen really race a 5-car, and that's my boy Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
Good guy. We got his diecast here.
Yeah.
The only bad thing I will say about Kyle Larson, and it's probably not his fault, is he pretty much runs 2 paint schemes, and it's a little annoying.
That one, and then he has
the Valvoline.
The Valvoline.
Yeah, the Valvoline car. And that's okay, but why can we not change this? You know what I mean? They could.
Yeah.
This looks okay. It looks okay.
Yeah, it does
but
look good.
but we could revamp this to look
Yes.
better.
And by the way, to the viewers, do not think Kyle Larson is a poser.
Okay.
But I think a lot of it has to do with Rick Hendrick.
Oh
really
yeah.
wants his,
Yeah, he
wants
wants
his thing out
Hendrick
there.
cars. He's kind of plain, as we know with his other schemes. There's the same old. But a little bit about Larson. He started racing at 7, and God, he's accomplished a lot of stuff. I mean,
Yeah, he
people.
has.
Austin said it before. but he is a generational talent. He's really good.
He is
you
good.
know.
He's really
And
good.
I wrote down a couple things about him that I thought were very interesting. And the big one being, of course, as we know, he comes from a dirt background.
Yes.
He loves to race dirt.
Okay.
And at the Chili Bowl Nationals, his very first try at winning, he won.
Wow.
That has never been done before.
Really?
Never been done until Larson did it. So
okay.
that's crazy. Of course, he won a championship in 21, won 10 races. That's crazy.
I remember that.
Yep.
It
And
wa-
then, with Hendrick, that was his
Yeah.
first year in a Hendrick car.
Yeah.
He literally came off suspension
Yeah.
and went straight into this car and won a championship
Yeah.
straight off the rip. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't tell me that he is not just
I remember
absolutely
that
good.
because I know you have personal beef with Jimmy Johnson. But,
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
To me, when Larson went on that tear of wins, it reminded me of Jimmy Johnson whenever, dude, people stopped watching races.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy Johnson, it's like F1 with
Mhm.
Max Verstappen.
Yeah, it is.
Nobody watches that.
No. I mean, and we've talked about this before, but you get into the betting odds with Max Verstappen, and they have to take him out.
It's like betting odds excluding
excluding
trust me,
him.
I was,
Yeah.
I've been wanting to hammer Max.
Yeah,
It's not.
it's
on
not
there.
worth it.
Yeah.
And it's even then it would
Yeah.
be minus 800.
Yeah.
What are you gonna put up? Freaking $800 to
Put my
win
paycheck
100?
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how good he is that season. That's how dominant he was. I just really the other thing I'll say about him is how versatile he is, and a lot of the series he raced in, World of Outlaws. He did a little bit of ARCA stuff, but a lot of that dirt stuff, like no one. If you're not a hardcore Kyle Larson fan or follow his social medias, you will never know.
Yeah.
You will never know what other cars he's been in, and to literally drive them like he races them every week. I think that's the absurd part. That's what makes it crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we expect those guys that are running World of Outlaws every week to be good at it. You know, they're good. I mean, that makes a ton of money. They put a lot of money into their cars, and then Kyle Larson just shows up and dominates.
Absolutely.
So and he's racing on ovals and road courses, concrete, asphalt every week, and then he just shows up in a dirt car and does that well. So that's who we're dedicating this episode to. Anything else, Colby, you'd like to add?
Man, I think that's pretty good. You got Larson, great pick. I got the Iceman.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good episode.
Two good episodes.
We're doing good dedications. But again, we'll move on to our overview. So this week on the overview, I had picked iRacing, and I'll tell you why I picked iRacing, because I think that media, video game, any type of media for the sport of NASCAR, it is good. I've always been a big component that the sport of NASCAR hasn't been represented well at times. Like, I mean, we have NBC and we have Fox that pretty much are literally the only promoters of the sport, I would
Right.
say. I mean,
Yeah.
because that's where you're watching it. So, to me, the more stuff that you can have out there that people can do and interact with it, like I know you're on the NASCAR app. The
Yeah.
NASCAR app, if you're not on the NASCAR app, you're not a NASCAR fan.
Yeah,
It-
you gotta
it-
have it.
I will say that is it is the greatest thing that NASCAR has.
Yeah.
Like, it really is, as far as to play fantasy with the fan points. I don't know if you do the fan points, but they're really
I do.
cool. You can win tickets to stuff. You can you're literally answering questions sometimes. I know I did that before the season. So it's a really good interactive way to get you into the sport of NASCAR and care about it. I mean, you check in before the race, you get all these fan points, and then at the end of the year, you can turn them in for, memorabilia, hats, merchandise, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that stuff's cool. But the big thing is like, I love NASCAR. I love video games personally. I'm a little bit of a gamer. I know Colby is as
Nerd.
well a little bit. Yeah, a little
I'm a
bit.
nerd.
But the Heat games were okay. They weren't
Heat game sucked.
okay. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna tell you right
There you
now,
go.
dude. I don't know if you've ever seen like these TikTok videos of like the most unrealistic crashes where people hit hit a little bump at the Roval, and then they just go. Like,
Yeah, flying.
Yeah, the
so,
heat games are not good.
So that's where iRacing comes into the picture. Because I've talked about before on here that I love iRacing. I got into it literally last year. I've been a member for literally about a year now, and because I played it one time, and I fell in love with it, of how realistic it is. And so iRacing started in 2008, which I didn't even know that until I started. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It started in 2008. So what would that be? That would be almost 20 years.
Don't make me do math.
Yeah, yeah, it's close. So
Yeah.
18 would be 10, and then 28. So it's been around 16 years.
16 years.
16 years.
They could drive a car itself.
Yeah, they started with 16,000 members their first year. So the way iRacing works is it's not like a video game that you would buy. Like you can't just, you buy Madden, you buy NASCAR Heat, and you play it.
Yeah.
Well, this one you pay a subscription every year. At the end of the first year, they estimated they had around 16,000 active members. It is now up to currently 170,000.
Jesus.
Yeah, members. So, granted, they've had 16 years to grow, but that's a lot. I mean, they've done good, and so I tried to do a little bit of math, and this. Stay with me on this because I don't know exactly how, but this is my thinking. So. We had 4 million people watch the race at Phoenix on Fox. That's what Fox reported. Around 4 million people raced it. And I was like, what is that compared to as far as on a bigger scale? Like, we know football and NBA, college basketball, of course, especially around this time of year, has way more viewership. Okay, and we know that EA Sports, Madden, they make a game every single year.
It's always the same game.
It's always
the same game.
Yeah, okay. So I was like, how many people have bought the last Madden? Is what I tried, and I went off of Madden 2023. I don't know. 2024 is out, right?
I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
2024 is probably out.
They released them, I think, like a year.
A year before.
Or
So
year
this
before,
is
yeah.
this is kind of like 2022 numbers probably, but I couldn't find anything more recent. But so to put that in perspective, we had 170,000 members and of iRacing, and 4 million people watch that. So that's, as far as percentages go, I think that would be around like 1.5%.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that high. Okay, it's not that high. But so if you take into consideration, and I just picked a random Sunday night football game last year, I believe it was the Bengals, and I didn't write it down, so I apologize. But Sunday, or no, I'm sorry. Take that back. This was the average viewership of a Sunday night football game reported by NBC all year. 21.4 million people. It's a lot.
It's a lot of people.
A lot more than NASCAR. So I was like, how does that compare to, now granted, I know that it's different with the media, and as far as the NFL is concerned, they own that shit. So I was like, but how many people are buying their game? How many people are buying their game? They sold, from what I could tell, 182,000 copies of Madden. That's it. Doesn't that seem like a low number?
That does compared to what you just said about iRace.
170,000 current members. So that percentage is way under 1%. So that tells me that iRacing, and again, I don't know how many of those are football fans, that are buying that game. I don't know how many of these are NASCAR fans, because iRacing has a broad spectrum of racing. I mean, they get into everything, F1, ARCA. I mean, they get into all of it. So I don't know how many of that is NASCAR fans, but to me, that speaks kind of volumes, because when I'm racing, and I race a lot of multiplayer, all the guys, and mostly guys, they're always talking about who's doing well, what drivers, what'd you think of Phoenix? What are we looking for at Bristol? They're always talking about the races coming up and the past races. So to me, it's really a community of NASCAR fans. Now, granted, I only race these cars. I race trucks, I race Xfinity, and my license is not high enough. And I'll get into that in a minute about the ranking system, but I can't race Cup cars yet, so my ranking's not high enough.
So you have to almost.
Yes.
I don't know iRacing.
Yeah, exactly. And
so
that's
you have to. The only iRacing experience I ever had was at the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte.
Exactly.
And you get inside those cars, dude. Quick story. Hate it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me tell you something. I was doing good because in iRacing you can spin yourself out so easily.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I finally got it down.
Mhm.
And there was this 12-year-old kid behind me in the Joey Logano car. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but you get in.
Yep.
It's like a cup car. The
Yes.
computer's in there.
Mhm.
Dude, every time there was a caution or anything, he would just run into
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And it would just wreck me.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember about that. I would, it's really easy to spin yourself out. And I thought to myself, man, I'm just as good as Corey LaJoy.
Yeah. 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 He's
know,
good.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
good at
yeah.
spinning.
Yeah.
But to lead into that, so you got all these ranking systems. So when you join iRacing, again, you can get into whatever racing you are. So there's 4 different rankings. And again, I did not know this until you get into it. Like even when I was shown iRacing, a guy that worked for Joe Gibbs showed us how he was iRacing, and he literally had a steering wheel, pedals on a desk, and he had a 65-inch TV that he played on, literally off a laptop, okay?
Okay.
And I fell in love. He let us race on it. It was so cool, man. We were literally just doing laps at Charlotte, and so I was like, man, I've got to get my hands on one. And so I got a computer, got the wheel and pedals. I splurged a little bit. I got a chair.
It's a nice setup.
It's a nice setup.
Really nice setup.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So again, nothing crazy, but
Yeah.
I didn't get the bare minimum.
Yeah.
So I did something that could do it. And you get on there, and there is 4 different ranking systems. So what they do is they take dirt ovals is one ranking.
Okay.
They take dirt road, which is another racing.
Okay.
They do concrete asphalt ovals is another ranking. And then they do road courses, concrete asphalt road courses. So you pretty much have dirt, 2 roads, 2 oval courses. Like one's dirt, one's concrete.
Okay.
Okay? And when you get on to their website, they literally have all these ranked races. So what I started out racing was they call it street stocks.
They put you in the pits, huh?
Yeah,
dude?
no, you're
down there changing tires.
So it's called you're in rookie class.
Okay.
You're a rookie,
Okay.
and you race rookie class, and as you go higher, you can come back down. But there's 2 different. So they have those rankings. So like, I'm not gonna lie, all I race is ovals pretty much. I've tried some road courses and stuff. Like
Be very difficult.
it is. It's really tough. And so, but the cool thing about it is that you can follow the different series. So on there, they have literally NASCAR Xfinity Truck Series. Okay. And so wherever they go that week, that's what the race is. Now, the other thing about it is you pay for your subscription, and this is kind of where it gets expensive, is you have to buy the cars, and then you have to buy the tracks. So that's kind of where they get a little extra money. Now, they run...
Now,
go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt you,
No.
but how much just your plain guy, how much do you think you're spending a year on iRacing? Just have fun. Get on there after work.
Okay,
kinda
get on...
mess around.
To me, all the rookie stuff is completely free.
Okay.
It's completely free. It comes with your membership.
That's nice. How
Yeah.
much is that membership?
$60 a year.
$6 a year.
So literally just one game. You pay for a lot of subscriptions, but $60 a year for me for the amount of
That's not bad.
it's not.
That's not bad.
And if you're a gamer, like that's pretty cheap.
They're making video games now for $70, $80.
Yeah.
I bet when GTA 5
Yeah.
comes out, it's $90.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
it's the same way with like Battle Pass subscriptions. Like before you know it, if you play Fortnite and you're paying for the Battle Pass, which is $10 a month,
Mm-hmm.
and you do that every month,
Yeah.
that's $120.
Oh.
You know, at the end of the year that you've paid
Yeah.
to play a free game. Now you get stuff with it, but so what I'm getting at is you start with a good amount of free stuff. Literally, when you get on there and you're a rookie, you can run their series, their ranked series, and I started running Ford Legend cars, 34s, and got pretty decent at that, won a couple of them, and then you move up into what we call D class. So to move up, you have a I rating and you have a safety rating. Okay? So your safety rating, I know you look kind of confused at me.
I have a feeling I know what safety rating is.
Safety rating
Is if you're an asshole on the track or not.
Kind of, yeah. So the safety rating is based on spin outs, penalties, crashes, all
Okay.
that stuff, and they're measured in X's. So they're called incident points.
Okay.
So, say me and you are racing at Daytona. Okay, Daytona, the super speedways are huge on iRacing that
Yeah.
week. They are, everyone loves them. They'll flock in, and you'll race these. So we're racing the truck at Daytona, and I am drafting you. I'm behind you. Okay, I'm in your draft, and I push you in the corner too hard, and you spin.
You're Brad Keselowski.
I'm a Brad K,
Okay.
and I get 4 incident points for that. Now, the only bad thing is you would also get 4 incident points
I wrecked.
because you wrecked.
Even though it's not my fault.
Exactly. That's the only beef I really have with iRacing. So, what it tells you,
Dale
though...
Jr. fix this.
Yeah. That just goes to show you of if you're building up your safety rating, you're not causing accidents and you're not in accidents, which is tough. It's not as tough to not cause an accident. It's tough not to be in an accident.
Yes,
So
I imagine, dude, because people,
yes.
I mean, because you're not in actual cars, so people drive way more recklessly,
oh yeah,
and they'll just get into you.
yeah, they'll get into you
Speaking
for
from my
nothing.
experience at the NASCAR Hall of Fame with
And-
a 12-year-old and Joey Logano.
Exactly. And what's crazy is you'll also have those guys. You'll have those 12-year-olds on there. You'll have your 55-year-olds on there that just love racing and they want to race, which makes it cool, you know? And so you have this ranking system, and it moves up from rookie, D class, C class, and B class, and then A class. And so you have to have a safety rating, and your safety rating to move up. And so your safety rating to move up is like you have to have, in rookie, you start at like a 3, and then you get to a 3, and then you try to make it to a 4, and then you keep going on from there. And then I rating is literally, God, what do they call it in like Call of Duty? Like your skill rating.
Okay.
It's your skill rating.
Okay.
So, and it's measured in, like, it goes all the way from 0 to, like, professionals, they're around 6,000. So, I am right now currently, I checked before the episode, I'm 1575 is my I rating. So I'm 1,571, somewhere in there. And as far as that goes, you only get paired, you get put in splits. So if your ranking was 2,500, mine's 1,500, we would not be in the same race, even though we were registered for, if we're trying to race trucks at Bristol, you're going to be in a bigger split than me. You're going to be in the better split with guys around your I rating, no matter what your safety rating is, okay? And then, so that's how they do the matchmaking. And so that's kind of cool. So you're always racing around guys that are supposed to be your skill level. Now, there's always dudes that are really, really good, you know? So that's cool.
So this is not just a video game.
No, that's...
This is
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I wanted to get into next. And so there's a lot of games out there, like, of course, NASCAR Heat, Forza, I bet you've heard, which is, of
I've
course...
never played that.
Yeah, it's...
PlayStation guy myself.
yeah, exactly. So that's a Xbox game. There's another big iRacing one, and I wish I'd have wrote it down. I can't remember. But it's literally, they go back and forth. But what iRacing focuses on the most is literally physics. That's what they want to assume. So, like, when you're in the car and it's literally like the car. So, the track temperature is measured. The tracks are laser measured before they're even up there. They laser measure them. They measure tire wear. So, like, when I'm running and I pit, I know exactly how much my tires wore, just like you would somewhere else. You can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it when you're driving. Your tires just going away. You also have weight transfer. So literally when you're in the corner and you know that you need to get your car to rotate, you can feel it rotate in your wheel with the feedback.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild how much time they have put into the physics of the game, which to me makes it a sim. It makes it a simulation of what you can do. And I think the biggest thing on that is, especially for guys like me that got into racing late, like I'm not saying I'm going to be a professional, but
I believe in you.
thank you. But if I got the opportunity,
Yeah.
it would be amazing. Now, granted, we've heard the Willie B's and stuff like that started, and that's how they came up. But
And now he's like the greatest driver on the track right
exactly. So I'm not saying that that's going to happen,
now. Yeah.
but to have an outlet to where you can open that stuff up to literally create NASCAR fans,
Yeah.
you know, or more F1 fans,
I
or
think the problem with it is that it's just expensive. And it's not expensive with the subscription like you're talking about. You have to have
yes,
a really nice computer.
you do. You'd have to have a decent one.
You have to have a steering wheel. You
Yep.
have to have the pedals. I mean, you don't have to have the racing seat, but
So
it's a lot.
I'll flip that on you. How much? And I know you guys can't see it, but Colby can see it. How much do you think I paid for my setup, including my computer?
Including the computer.
Including the computer I got, because I was a PlayStation guy, so I didn't have it before. I started
The
from
computer
scratch.
looks expensive.
Okay.
And I don't know how much computers cost, but I'm going to assume the computer costs probably $1,000.
Okay.
Okay? And I have no idea.
Yeah.
But at the same time, an Apple laptop is cost $1,000. So it may be actually, I think gaming computers are a lot more. So I'm going to say $1,500
Okay.
for that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say for the steering wheel and the pedals and the seat, we do the seat.
Yeah, the seat and everything. The whole rig.
$2,500.
$2,500.
Okay.
Okay, you would be off by $1,500.
Well, too high?
You're too high. You are.
Cost you $1,000.
It cost me $1,000 for the setup I got
That's
right
a
now.
lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Yeah.
It is. I'm not shortchanging that, but I'm just
Yeah.
telling you that. And what iRacing is so good about is you can go to their website and look up the specs that they recommend to play.
Okay.
So what I did is I got my computer used off of Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
So I paid $500 for my computer.
It's a good place to go.
And it was honestly brand new. It's probably worth about $700. So I got a good deal on it. And then I bought my wheel. I just have a Logitech wheel, and I can get into the weeds of what I really want.
Yeah.
Which will be my upgrade. And me and Colby were talking before this, but I want to upgrade my computer to what he said, a $1,500 computer. So literally
Yeah.
double what I got now. It is crazy what the computer will do, how much of a difference it makes. But
Yeah.
anyway, that we won't get into that. But so my wheel and pedals, brand new, bought them off of Amazon. Just a Logitech G29s, cost $300.
That's not bad. at
That's
all.
not. It's not bad.
Yeah.
And then my seat and my rig here cost me like $200. So that would put me at $1,000
Yeah.
for everything I got. And what I'm saying though, what I like to compare that to is if I actually wanted to get into racing, there is no way I could do it for $1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no way. I would have to, even in the Legends car, I would probably have to buy the chassis of that car, build an engine, find some way to get it to the track, find a track that's racing those type of cars, pay the fee to get into that race, to maybe wreck out in lap 2, because I had never raced before, you know?
Yeah.
And so for a guy that actually wants to get into racing, it has made it 10 times cheaper to get into it.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is the biggest thing about it, for being so realistic, so wide, mainstream, that you can get into anything about it. And to me, that's what makes it amazing. Amazing.
I completely agree. It's just a lot of startup cost, I think,
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I want more people, including myself, to get into iRacing. Plus, it's not... The other issue is you have to have a certain place to do it.
Yes.
It's not like a PlayStation or
Nope.
Xbox where it goes underneath the TV and your
Mhm.
little entertainment system where everybody's got the barn door entertainment system nowadays
Yeah.
because everybody watch Fixer Up or Joanna Gaines and they think that's the style. I'm saying that because I got it. But I hate it though. hate them barn doors. But yeah, it's a lot of startup costs at first, and
so again, glad you said that, because now iRacing has become so big. They've been a partner with NASCAR for a while.
Yeah.
NASCAR has went to them to make their new game. So
I heard about that.
Yes.
Because Heat and Ignition has, like I mentioned
They've
earlier,
always-
it's not been good.
they've always been EA games.
Yes,
EA makes
EA's
all
not
the
been
sport
good.
games, and
Hopefully NCAA is good.
EA, yeah. Well,
We hope.
We hope, and I will be paying whatever they want for it just to try it. Same.
Yeah.
We've waited for
Yeah,
this game
I'm
forever.
calling out of work for a week.
yeah.
Hope nobody
It's-
sees this.
It's gonna be hopefully a great game, but
Yeah.
that's what we're leading into is EA has other focuses that they care about,
They do.
and
They do.
NASCAR games
NASCAR's
are
not on the
one.
top.
Yeah, they
Not
got
on
they
the
got
top.
their C programmers out there
Yes.
doing this.
Yes.
So, iRacing has been contacted, and they have the rights to the new game. So,
yes.
as an
Do we know when that comes out?
we do not.
We do not.
As far as I know, we do not. Unless
Okay.
they've released something and I missed it, we do not know when that comes out. But what we do know is hopefully as I talk to the different guys in the community, we're hoping that this makes the iRacing experience on the computer better, because so like now there's different things that we don't have as iRacers. So like when they restart at Daytona in the trucks, you get a choose lane. iRacing does not have that option.
Okay.
You just get, if you are the
If you're in
first place,
second, you're up there.
if you're in
First,
second,
you're here.
yeah,
Outside,
exactly.
inside. Yep.
And then it goes 3 is on the inside, 4 is on the outside.
That's
know,
almost kind of better.
yeah. I
in my
mean,
opinion.
well, yes, but again, you want it to be more realistic. Now,
That's true.
granted, when we were literally I was talking with some guys literally last night of probably how much programming that takes to do. Just to put that on every track
Yeah.
and make it, different or whatever. So, but hopefully, like I said, we have that aspect coming to NASCAR. They're making that game.
Yeah.
So hopefully that transforms into iRacing on the computer. So looking forward to that. And then the other big thing, and I know we've kind of talked about this a little bit, maybe too much, but the other thing I want to talk about is esports in general and how that relates.
Okay.
So, esports has kind of become a big thing. I don't know. You said you just downloaded Rocket League,
I did.
and
I'm-
Rocket.
I'm like 10 years too late.
yeah,
But
yeah,
dude, there's about to be 14-year-olds wax my ass every time I
they
go on
will.
there now.
They will. They're going to be good.
Can I play solo mode for a little bit?
You can practice. Yes, you can
Okay, I'll
practice,
practice.
and hit the ball around and kind of get the
Okay.
mechanics of it. But what I'm getting at is there is a huge Rocket League thing. They do tournaments all the time, huge teams, and again, that's one of the games I enjoy too. So I kind of keep up with
Yeah.
that and stuff like that. And so even now at high schools, you will see esports teams, and they will play these games. They'll play Call of Duty. They'll play Fortnite in these tournaments. They'll play Rocket League, and there's more. There's so many more. There's Overwatch.
Yeah.
Again, and I'm leaving a lot out, so I do apologize if you're a fan of those games. But
Nerd.
but so in
Go build Legos with Byron.
Oh, dang, you did me like that, did you? You did me
Wait,
like
do you
that.
play with Legos?
No,
Oh.
no, no, I don't.
I am jealous of that Titanic set.
That was super nice,
Dude, it's super. You know how much those things are?
Yeah, they're super expensive,
Oh my
dude.
god.
They're-
And it's like a centerpiece in his house.
I know. Well, when you're William Byron, you can make
You
that
can-
much
you
money.
can- you can-
And if you don't know what we're talking about, watch NASCAR Full Speed on
Highly
Netflix.
recommend.
Yeah,
Highly
highly.
recommend.
Yeah, and we've said that before. But anyway, so they have these tournaments. So iRacing in 2010, literally before this was kind of a big thing, they started the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series,
Okay.
and it's been running ever since. And they run every Tuesday night
Okay.
live on Twitch. You
Yeah,
can literally
I've
get on
seen that.
Twitch, look
Yes,
up
yes.
iRacing, and they'll stream the race
Yes.
of that week with literally the best e-racers. And so I don't know if you remember, but when Tyler Reddick won at I think it was a road course, and oh my gosh, I'm
Like
so mad.
Sonoma?
No, it wasn't Sonoma. I believe it was Coda.
Watkins Glen?
It was Coda, or it was the Roval, and I do not remember the Roval. I don't think because that was in the playoffs and Tyler Reddick didn't make it that far. So I think it was Coda. So I may be wrong, but it was one of those two races. And literally in his post-race interview, straight after he comes out of the car, he gives a shout-out.
I remember this. Yes.
He gives a shout-out to an e-racer that works for Joe Gibbs at the time, because I think it was a while back. So I think he was still racing for – no, not Joe Gibbs. What was the other Toyota team? It may have been Denny's team. I don't quite remember, but it's slipping me now.
Like Gibbs?
Yeah, I guess Gibbs is the only other
Gibbs
Toyota
23,
team.
besides Legacy, which
Did he
they
raced for
both
Gibbs? Didn't he?
Who? Reddick?
Tyler Reddick?
No.
No, who did he race
He
for?
raced
before
for
he-
RCR before. He raced in the
RCR.
8 car.
No, okay. Then this was
Yeah.
him on Denny's team. So
Okay.
this is him on Denny's team, and he shouted out one of the guys that literally work for them
Okay.
that drives their e-cars.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, shout out to," and I'm so sorry I can't remember that guy's
Yeah.
name, but he said he taught me when to brake in the corners.
I do remember.
He showed him how to brake in the corners. So to me, that just goes to show you how real it is that a dude is transferring on the track.
Yeah, and iRacing is a really helpful tool. Like we mentioned William Byron earlier. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you can get good at that, and
Yeah.
the guy's name escapes me. He just won his first Truck Series race at Las Vegas.
Raja?
Yes.
Yeah.
He started
Raja.
at
Yep.
iRacing too.
Mhm.
And I mean, if you get good at it, I mean, so you do iRacing, I don't. So what advice would you give to someone who, okay, let's say it's me. I
Okay.
just now got my first iRacing rig.
Okay.
I'm turning on the game. What advice would you give someone who's trying to move up the rankings?
First off,
I'm going to go grab a beer.
yeah, go grab you a
Wait.
beer. I got one right here, brother. Sit right down.
Well, I'm here in another room.
Oh, okay. I got you. So my advice would probably be literally just to get a feel for the car. So if you want to drive a Legends car, if you want to drive a street stock car, even if you want to drive a cup car, just go ahead and buy it. That's one you don't have to buy. But put it on a track and see what you feel like. Literally run test laps. Run until you halfway feel comfortable. You don't have to go crazy. And then if you want to move up the rankings, jump in one of those rookie races how you feel comfortable in. And as far as ovals go, I suggest racing the rookie Legends or the rookie street stocks and just stay in the back. Stay in the back. Get a feel of racing around other people. You can also do AI racing, which it's okay. It is what it is. But to race around real people, guys that do it all the time, just get out there and run laps. Just run laps. You're going to have to put your time in. And then once you feel comfortable, after that, that's when you go. You go, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to finish 10th in this race. Good. I'm going to try to finish 10th in this race. I'm going to go on, and you're going to qualify, and you're going to see, hey, if I start 15th, if I start 13th, I want to get inside the top 10,
Yeah, okay.
you know? And you just do what you can. It's literally just logging laps, feeling comfortable in that car. I haven't drove a Legends car in probably 5 months because I've been racing the truck so much. So, and again, not to brag, I'd logged so many laps with the Legends car. I feel like I could get in one right now and probably win in 2 races. I would win the
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is it like that easy?
No,
Is it
I
all
mean,
the
once
new
you-
people starting out, or
Yes. Well, again, there's still my rating.
yeah,
So I'm racing with guys that are not just rookies. They have my I rating, so they should be at my skill level. So yes and no. Now they may not be as proficient as me. They may be proficient in the trucks better than I am, but they don't really race the rookies and they just jumped into it, you know. So they could spin out. But I'm saying I've logged so many laps in those cars, especially at certain tracks. I have my favorites that oh my gosh, dude, I just know exactly what line to run, when to shift, when to get out of the gas, when to feather it. I know all that stuff so well that it's going to be really hard to beat me, especially if I win the pole. That means you're going to have to pass me.
Yeah.
And that's going to be tough. No offense, it's going to be tough. And I'm not saying I'm the best rookie legends driver out there. I'm talking a big game. Yeah, but I mean, I will. Another thing on that is I will say that at one time I was out of all the rookie legends racers in the whole world, I was ranked 47th out of the entire world. I was ranked 47th in the series. So there was.
You could have stayed there and dominated.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, you can always go back, and so. But that's just one of those things. Like, you just got it. You don't have any experience. Just log laps.
Yeah.
But don't be a dick. Don't
Yeah.
go out there and when you've never run a race before and try to race with people that have been racing because you're just going to piss them off.
You need your safety rating good.
You need your safety rating up.
Yep.
Log laps in the back. Take it slow. I know it's so hard. I know because I've been there. It took me, I was going into races I should have never been in. You know, I kind of got it down to where I could run one good hot lap. And then once my tires heated up, I would start spinning because I'd lose all kinds of grip. I didn't know what I was doing. And I would run one hot lap and I would qualify 7th. I didn't need to be in 7th. I needed to be in 13th, cruising there in the back. I needed to be in 15th. But I was like, no, I can run 7th.
Yeah.
And then I'd wreck half the field.
Yeah.
That's literally the truck series that we've seen these past couple years. That's what that is.
Demolition derby.
Exactly. So
Yes.
just take it slow. Go into it with, hey, I want to get better, but the only way I can get better is by logging laps. So that's what I'll say. Anything else?
That's a good advice, man.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I tried.
Yeah.
How was your piss?
In my defense, as you mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we've been sitting here for
We have.
quite a long time.
Yeah, we have. So.
And I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, that's
I was trying to be swift.
Well, you were. You did good.
Swift.
I hope you enjoyed that.
It was good.
I mean, they're lucky because if you didn't show up, it would have been me like that this entire episode.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm happy about.
And I could hear you very well in the bathroom.
Could you?
Dude, you were killing it.
Okay.
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay, what you got?
This is
Recapping?
unhinged. Yes, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix. What do you think about Phoenix? What was your thoughts?
Okay, so first thing I wrote down is Toyota.
Toyota-thon.
Yeah.
Thought it was a Toyota-thon.
Yeah, is Toyota back?
So I mentioned with you, I have people that I work with that are in our NASCAR fantasy league. For anybody who's watching that's not playing NASCAR fantasy, I would highly recommend doing it next year. It's so fun.
Oh, God,
but I told them all to put Toyotas in there, and then I went against my own advice, and now all the people I give advice to are beating me.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving them any more picks until I'm winning.
And that's honestly, me and Austin kind of had the same discussion before, is because we were talking about the Chevys and how well they dominated. Literally, they had dominated every single race and every single series up until that point. And so for me, I did the opposite. I was like
Chevy.
I went Chevy Ford.
And man, Byron and even Chase was running very good in that race, if I remember correctly. And then they fell back hard.
They had the flip-flop.
They flip-flopped
at the end, and
Yes.
it literally. But even then, it was still a Toyota show. I mean, Tyler Reddick, Seabell, Denny was up there. Even Martin Truex Jr., who we haven't heard.
He was up there on strategy, but
still,
once he got when you get in clean air,
yeah,
you can take off, which
Yeah.
I think is a big issue maybe with the car.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of cheering for Martin, man. I like Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see that type of stuff. So the other thing I wrote down was penalties. We were pretty clean on penalties for once.
Yeah,
I
I
had
didn't see a
been
whole lot.
I had been a big component at Atlanta, at Daytona, even at Vegas. Like the penalties have screwed me especially on my bets. So I was happy to see finally people are getting into the groove. They're not having so many stupid pit road errors like too many men over the wall, uncontrolled tires, speeding, all that kind of stuff. They had kind of cleaned that stuff up for the most part. And so I was glad to see that. Does this tell you anything for when they come back for the championship race?
Chevy's got to figure it out, because
Yeah.
if not, I mean, I mean, Toyotas definitely have an advantage
Right now, for sure.
For
Yeah.
sure. I don't even recall any Fords really doing a whole lot. Actually, I think Keselowski was running up for quite a bit.
Yeah,
there.
Chris Buescher finished second.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, granted, that's the other thing is, like, it didn't seem like a close race because Seabell at the very end, I think it was out like
It
about
was,
3
yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
So, but just pulling up the leaderboard real quickly here. Yeah, we had Chris Buescher, Ty Gibbs.
Man, I actually wrote Ty Gibbs' name down on the next segment.
Okay.
But Ty Gibbs impressed me, and I've been a Ty Gibbs hater.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's kind of got what it takes.
Now, does he have what it takes? Now, he qualified well. He
did.
qualified second
He
and
did.
finished third. So you
Yeah.
cannot fault a guy on that. Clearly had a fast car. Now, is that because the Toyotas were so dominant?
Mhm.
Or I think it's probably a little bit of both, personally, of like him having some talent and then the cars being that good.
I think so,
Yeah.
too.
But so just to round out the top 10, we get into Ty in the next segment a little bit more. But you had Christopher Bell, Chris Buescher, you had Ty Gibbs, Brad Kay, Blaney, Ross in 6th, Martin Truex, Michael McDowell, Chase Briscoe, and Tyler Reddick to round out the top 10.
I have to say, I'm so surprised about Chase Briscoe.
Yeah.
I
That's the other thing I wrote down as well that stood out.
I did not believe in Stuart Haas at all, man. Like
Are they-
they're bad, or I thought they were
Yes.
bad. I
they-
still don't think they'll win.
I thought that too. I thought that until
You want to place a bet on it?
no.
No?
Okay.
Go on, I'll give you.
So you're giving me all 4 drivers?
Yeah, just to win a race this year.
Yeah,
Does
I'll
it
take
matter
that.
when?
I'll take that.
Okay, we'll take a bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take a bet.
We'll take a bet.
Okay, there we go. There we
Yeah,
go.
it's official now.
Stuart Hall.
Big Stuart Haas
Yeah.
guy.
I like
Yeah.
it. But I thought that as well until I seen where they qualified. So you had Chase Briscoe up there.
Yeah.
You had Noah, and even Ryan
Noah, man.
even Ryan Preece ran some good laps, and we'll get into Josh Berry towards the later, so I won't really talk about him. But I mean, you have all those guys up there at short tracks. If the Fords are going to be that dominant, I mean, I do believe the Chevys are going to come around.
Yeah,
I do.
I do too.
They will. I mean, they're
Yeah.
just too strong. They've been too
Hendrick is
good. Yeah.
too big
Yeah.
to fail.
And even then, I mean, we're talking about Chevy struggling. Ross finished 6th, so it's like, was he struggling? Yes, but that just still shows you that even though they're not as strong, they're still gonna find a way to win.
Yeah.
So, but
Do you think this is how, like what we saw at Phoenix, do you think this is how short tracks are going to be? Because you remember last year, dude, watch it, and short tracks used to be
yeah,
the bee's knees.
yeah, they were.
And now, dude, they're a snooze fest.
They're kind of a snooze.
I was
fest.
thinking about going to Martinsville for the playoff race.
Yeah.
But I just think it'll be so bad. Do you think this is how short tracks are going to be, where it's not as, I guess, entertaining?
It's definitely possible. This weekend, and we'll get into that, will be a big tell.
Yeah.
So as far as short tracks go, Phoenix is kind of an oddball when it comes to it.
is.
It's a weird kind of configuration.
It's like
at
a hybrid.
Yes.
Yeah.
hybrid half mile, hybrid short track.
Like Atlanta's a hybrid. This is like the hybrid short track.
Yes,
Yeah, I've
exactly.
always
And
thought the
so
same
and
thing.
so it, to me, you can't beat. It is a snooze fest once someone gets that clean air and gets around, but you cannot tell me there's a better restart in NASCAR. When freaking
When it's 5
when
wide.
it's
Yeah.
when you have Ty Gibbs
Yeah.
restarting 8th and he shoots to the bottom
That was
to make
impressive.
it 6 wide,
Yeah.
you cannot tell me that's not fun to watch.
Yeah,
Now,
a lot
granted,
of people checking up.
yes,
a lot of people checking
a lot
up.
of people.
Yeah.
So to me, that makes Phoenix so interesting.
That is. I
And
agree.
that's another thing we can kind of get into is like, I don't know if this told us anything for the fall, just because it's going to race so differently. You know, when they
Yeah.
get around to those months of the year, the track temperature, the Chevys are going to be better. The Toyotas will still probably be there. We'll have to see how they
Or
stack
the
up.
Fords.
Or the Fords.
Don't forget, back
Dude,
to back.
You're right. So I think, honestly, and me and Austin tried to start doing this last episode, of what would you rank that race? Scale of 1 to 10. What would you give it?
You know, I listen to a lot of the NASCAR podcasts,
Mhm.
and a lot of people have been hating on Phoenix, and a lot of people
Ooh.
on Twitter too. But man, it's not Atlanta.
No.
Okay,
It's not
like
a super
you're
speedway.
not gonna
Yeah.
see the 3 wide finish, but what we saw was a lot of strategies play out. Like Truex, for example, we're
Yes.
talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
He had to stop for gas, but that was his strategy.
Yeah. And it
Um,
almost worked.
Christopher Bell
Yeah.
had his own strategy,
Mhm.
and that worked out.
Yep.
And they could honestly pass pretty well.
I thought so too.
I didn't think, but it was more of a battle.
Yes.
Like
It wasn't you just
going
running.
into corners,
Mhm.
trying to figure out people's lines. I think Phoenix was, to the newer NASCAR fans that come in off Netflix, it probably looked pretty boring.
Yeah.
But when you understand what they're doing, I thought it was a pretty good race. I'm going to give it. Can I do decimals?
I do.
Can I Dave
decimals.
Portnoy?
Yes, I do. I
Okay.
Dave Portnoy it.
I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Okay.
Which is not
wow.
bad because Phoenix people hate Phoenix. Dude, in Jeff Gluck's poll, only 40% of people said that it was a good race.
No way. I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
And
So
I thought it was good.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. You went lower than I did. I literally, so to give you, I don't know if you remember, but last week I gave I guess it was Vegas. I gave Vegas a 7-2.
That's fair.
I gave Vegas a 7-2.
That's fair.
That's
a
what I
good
thought.
Score.
Austin gave it an 8. Okay?
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
There's a
by
reason
the way,
he's not here, folks.
By the way, that's the guy that said in Atlanta you can't pass.
That's so true. That's so true. He did say that.
Yeah.
So this week, I thought, like you said, it was so surprising to be able to pass and not be a Seabell. You know what I mean? Like, Seabell's car was so much stronger than everybody's. We knew he was getting around everybody pretty easily. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure that, oh, my gosh. Here I am. I had it on lock, and now I'm messing up. But, I mean, Chris Buescher started 14th and finished second. Now, he
Yeah.
got a lot of those spots on pit road, but, you still got to pass.
Yeah.
You know, we had Brad Kay, who started 18th, finished
Yeah.
4th, you know. So, to me, like you said,
RFK's good.
yeah.
RFK's
Oh,
good.
yeah. And I can't wait to get into them in a minute. But the passing was really, really good. So, I was happy with that. So, I gave it a 7-8. I gave it a 7-8.
Okay, a little higher than I would go.
That's
but
fair.
That's a fair.
But
that's a fair score. I
as-
understand.
Yeah, and like you said, if that was my first race I ever watched as a NASCAR fan, it would have been a 4. It would have been a 4. Nothing happened. We didn't get a late race restart. Seabell at the end, we knew he was coming. We knew he was coming. The last 40 laps, I
I know.
Get-
I left him out of my fantasy lineup, and
Yep.
I was kicking myself. The whole
So I cannot wait for the next one. So what are we on? We on standouts?
time. Well,
we kind of did both those, I guess.
Well, you put on here champion Seabell,
Yeah.
and no way, Jose.
Okay.
No way.
You don't
Jose.
think he's
Hashtag all in. This is Denny's year. Listen, Denny Hamlin is the greatest race car driver that's out there. And for any of you at home that don't think so, you're not a gearhead. Okay? You don't know what you're talking about.
This is.
Denny Hamlin
Okay.
is going to win the championship.
He's gonna finally get him one.
He's going to finally get him one.
Okay.
And back in the old days, back in the old and out west, he would already have one with the way that they used to do the champion off of.
You're exactly right.
Yes, I
He
mean,
would.
dude.
And-
He is
and
the
no
most
one's gonna argue
consistent.
that. No one's gonna argue that. He's
The only place he ever struggles is road courses, and he's getting better there.
He is. He is getting better there. And to me, I've always said this. You don't have to be good at road courses to win at NASCAR.
No, you don't.
You don't.
No, you don't.
There's not enough on
No.
the schedule.
There's
no
not.
one cares.
There's not.
Look at Austin Cindric.
Yeah.
Okay,
Clown.
clown. Really good road course racer. Who gives a damn?
Nobody.
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 Because there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
There's 4 of them.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't. I want to see ovals. No offense. These guys are good at ovals. I don't want to see.
That's what we are.
Yes,
We're
that's what we
ovals.
are. And we saw it at Chicago when Shane came in there and never raced in a Cup car and freaking
It's embarrassing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that just goes to show you how much these
I
guys
was
don't.
cheering for Justin Haley. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like the fact that it gives those guys to show their versatility.
Yeah,
Like
that is true.
That is true. I'm not saying take them completely out of the schedule.
We have a healthy amount.
We do.
Yeah.
I think it's finally good. The only one I would argue is the Roval, but
Wait, you don't like the Roval?
I don't like
The Roval's like the most entertaining one.
Yes, but it's so
You want to watch Watkins Glen, where
I
it's
do.
all pits and pit strategy
personally, yes, because I feel this is my opinion. I feel like the racing
Probably wrong.
there is more designed for road course because it is a road course. You know what I mean? Like the only problem I have with the Roval is the fact that they get on the oval. You know what I mean?
That's the oval part of the Roval.
I know. I'm getting into the weeds. This is just I like when they go to a true road course like Coda, like Watkins Glen, like Sonoma. You have
I like Sonoma.
yeah, you have the ups and downs of the elevation change. There's not really any elevation change at the Roval. There's a little bit. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's 0,
Yeah.
but compared to Watkins Glen and
Yeah.
compared to
'Cause you got the hills.
yes,
Yeah.
they have hills, and I know this because I've raced it on iRacing Watkins Glen. It's so hard. It's not. You cannot see. You're going up a hill and at 120 miles an hour, and when you top the hill, you don't know what's above you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I think it adds a different element, and it makes the mechanics and the engineers work on a car different. You know?
Yeah.
Like, and again, I know the Roval, that small part, I guess it's what, turn 1,
It's-
kind of turn 1, turn 2, and then on the backstretch is when they do the chicane, and then they get off of it,
And then
right?
they go on turn 3, turn 4.
They do go and turn, yeah,
and then
they come
and then
down,
they do the
yeah.
chicane right
So,
there.
I mean, you're
and then
practicing.
Chase Elliott hits that wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
God, I love that. Remember when Kevin Harvick hit the wall 'cause he
I
heard
knew you were gonna bring that
footsteps?
shit up. Yeah.
Yeah. Some closer.
Well, oh, okay.
Some closer. That
Colby's
guy,
off the pod.
That
Colby's
guy,
off the
that
pod.
guy should have retired 2 years ago.
Oh.
Okay, but anyway.
That's my only beef with it, and we got crazy off topic there talking about road courses, but that's kind of my beef with the road course. But going back in,
We don't even have a road course.
no,
song.
we don't have a road course on our itinerary at all. But this is why this is awesome. But the reason I wrote down Seabell as champion is kind of
Okay.
what I was getting at
It's
is
Phoenix, and
it-
he's that dominant there.
that. But to me, he's kind of got to be the favorite now.
Yeah, I would agree. with
Because if you remember back to when Blaney won, Seabell wrecked out.
that.
Or had an
His
engine.
brakes. His
His
brakes
went out. He had a
Yeah.
mechanical failure
I remember
that he
that.
could not control, and everyone, and even me, and a lot of NASCAR fans, and I don't know if you did, but I didn't even have him in the round of 8. You know,
I
he's
probably didn't
he's
either.
been in the round of 4 like the past 3 years.
You know, on top of that, in that Netflix documentary, they
Yes.
didn't interview him until the
Till
very
the-
end
because-
because they didn't think he was going to make
And they
it.
said that. And so
Yeah.
it's like one of those things, he's always an underdog
Yeah.
every single time. And to me, he's got to be on the radar now. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's still right now, I guarantee if you looked at the odds, it's Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson is always going to be
I
there.
don't know,
I don't-
but I'm going to say William Byron.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's check real quick. Because I can pull it up now that I got my phone. We're going to pull it up. I'm sorry. Let's look.
William Byron was the favorite last year, and I think that William Byron is the most consistent out of all the drivers. Like, I would want William Byron in my fantasy lineup every week if I could.
Yeah. No, yeah, if you could. He
Yeah.
is the most consistent out of those guys, and I don't know why I can't find this fast. I'm so sorry, guys. But yeah, he is, okay, NASCAR Cup Futures. NASCAR Cup champion. You are right. William, no, hold on. William Byron and Kyle Larson are tied.
They're tied.
plus 550, plus 550.
So we're both right.
So we're kind of both right.
I
so
hate that.
okay. Now I wish I would have checked before Seabell won Phoenix, but he's plus 850. So it goes Willie B, Kyle Larson, who you think's next?
Willie B, Kyle Larson, Ross.
No.
Wait.
You just went on a spill about
Wait,
who's
Denny!
Yeah,
Denny!
It's Denny.
Okay.
So it's Denny at plus 650,
Okay.
and then
Sorry,
Seabell.
everyone at home. I just screamed into the mic.
It's Seabell, and then honestly, then it kind of gets crazy. You got Chase at next at plus 900.
He can't win a race. To
No,
save his life.
I don't
If it
think
wasn't
you.
for all the T-shirts, he'd be on the hot seat.
That's something we get into in another episode. And then of course you got Joey, and me and Austin both picked Joey to probably win it just because.
You think so?
I
You think he's cold now, but he's gonna get hot later?
dude, that's how he is.
Yeah, I
That's
understand
how
that.
he is, man.
understand
Those Penske cars do that, but so that you are right. Seabell still out of those 4 drivers is still the underdog. You know what I mean?
Really?
Out of those 4,
Yeah.
according to the odds, and to me,
Well, it's because can he make it to Phoenix? I guess. Is
Yeah.
maybe what the odds makers.
that's exactly what they're thinking.
Because before Phoenix, he he did not do well.
No, he didn't do
He
well.
choked a lot. Well, he did. His team wasn't on the right thing. He had a lot of car issues. A lot
Yep.
of it wasn't his fault.
Pit road problems.
Pit road problems,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, to me, that's just one to watch. And I don't like.
You put a
betting
future on
futures.
anybody?
No, I don't.
no.
I don't want to get into
Hey,
that yet.
you know who I'm putting a future on?
Who, Denny?
Danny.
Yeah,
Damn.
I like it.
Father of 2, trying his best.
I like it. I like it.
Girl dad.
So, anything else that stood out to you?
No. Well,
No?
Noah? We talked
Noah?
about Noah?
Yeah,
Noah?
I wrote down Noah just because that's one of the Stewart Haas drivers to me, and I know Chase Briscoe finished ahead of him, but to me they talked about him a lot because he was just there.
Noah was more consistent. So in stage 1,
Yeah.
he finished 12th. Stage 2, he finished 8th. And then he finished overall in 12th.
Yeah.
He kind of... so here's what I think. So Stuart Haas has a problem right now. Stuart Haas does not have a driver to really appeal to the fans.
Yeah.
And Chase Briscoe has been around, and he's not going to be that guy. Noah's more charismatic.
Noah can't be that guy.
Noah's
Noah
going
can.
to have to be the A guy.
Yeah, he can, and he can be. I think he can be.
Yeah.
He's a young guy. He's fun to watch.
Yes.
I mean, him and Ross getting into it right. Yeah,
sucker
that was
punch.
yes,
That was sweet.
That was awesome.
And NASCAR says they don't like it, but they play it on their social media
All
20
the
times.
yes, yeah. So to me, that's the guy that. And I know I took you Stuart Haas to win a race. That's probably maybe my number 1 guy that I'm looking to win a race.
I would
and then,
like if Noah won a race.
Yeah,
I would lose
I-
that bet to you.
Yeah. So it's just one of those that I think Noah is like he's definitely an up and coming guy, and if Stuart Haas keeps building cars like that, I think top 10s are he could point him. I'm saying right now, if things continue, I'm saying Noah Gragson is going to point his way in. I'm not saying he's going to win a race because I just don't know.
You
Now
think he's going to be 16th?
I think he
Like,
could be.
on
I
the-
think he
on the
could be
bracket. Yeah.
14th or something in there. I
Yeah.
mean, I just don't know if we're at the time to call 16 different winners yet. So I don't think that'll happen. So I think there will be room to point about 4 people in.
Byron's gonna win, like,
And
4
honestly,
races.
according to that as well, it's like one of those things that I completely lost. It's one of those things that like if he's beating Bubba consistently, you know, who's gonna have to probably point him. So you got to look at those guys. And I would say
Yeah.
Suarez, but Suarez won. But just those group of guys,
Probably
a
saved his
Bowman,
job.
maybe not a Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott will probably back into a win, but a Bowman.
At a road course. I think Chase
ex-
Elliott might show up.
Exactly.
When we go to Coda, I think
Or
it's
wh-
next week.
Yeah. Or Watkins Glen. I mean,
Yeah,
he's always been
he's
good at
gonna show
those.
up.
So I mean, he's got to beat consistently those guys like Bowman. He's got to beat Bubba. If he's beating those guys every week, I don't see any problem with him pointing his way in. You know what I mean?
It's a good take.
Yeah. I don't think that's outrageous.
No.
It's probably not likely, but I don't think it's outrageous to say.
If he's consistent like he was at Phoenix,
Yeah.
which what they say is one of the hardest tracks to
Yeah.
pass. And then I think he's going to be just fine. I'm interested to see how he does at Bristol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be. And so before we move on, the one last thing I want to say, and to keep kind of the consistency, I know what Colby here wasn't here last week with us, but we have been keeping track of Corey versus Hocevar.
Carson.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so last week it was 2-1 Corey. This week it's 2-2.
You counting this week? Well,
I mean Phoenix. I'm saying before.
I guess you have to count this week, but also just
It's 2-2.
remember Corey had his first DNF in I don't even know how long.
Hey, he still beat
And
him.
it wasn't his fault.
I'm not saying it wasn't his fault. He still beat him though. He still beat him.
Corey,
We're gonna count it the other way.
Look,
if
I know your co-host is just like the biggest Corey hater in the world, but Corey LaJoie is a pretty consistent driver. Now I don't know. I hate to say this, but I really don't know if he's ever gonna win.
Okay.
But I think that he's getting to a point where he's in such good equipment that he's going to be able to start having consistent finishes. And the reason why I say that, Spencer, is because we saw Corey LaJoie at Phoenix before he wrecked himself.
Yes.
Not his fault. There was a banana peel on track. But he was running on that track in the top 10,
He
in
was.
the top 15 all day, and then he just lost it.
He lost it.
But it shows you he can do it.
I'm not-
And me and you talked about this one day off air. But what I said is I think Corey LaJoie has just went so long without a win that whenever he gets into a situation where he can, he hears footsteps. He hears the
Yeah.
self-doubt.
He does.
And he's messing himself up.
And
It's not that he's a bad driver. It's because he
No.
forgot how to win.
I
He just needs to
Yeah.
learn how to win again.
just do it. Yeah.
Just do
I
it.
mean, and like you said, he's in better equipment. So literally, we've seen that Spire can run up there kind of with the big dogs.
They've made a
And
lot of investments.
They've made a lot of investments. So literally, to him, I'm curious to see how this plays out. I mean, I really am not picking sides.
So it's 2-2.
It's 2-2. So
And then we're going to Bristol.
we're going to Bristol.
And Bristol's a real door banging track, and I don't know if Carson's going to keep his nose out of trouble.
You're exactly right.
So-
So if he DNFs and Corey finishes 32nd, that's still a win. That's still. I'm just saying. That's
High hopes
worse.
you have for Corey LaJoie.
I'm just saying. That's still a win for
Stacking them
Corey.
deep and selling them cheap.
That's still a win. That's still a win for Corey.
Yeah.
So that's how we're kind of counting it. And I'm just interested to see how this plays out. That was Austin's idea, and I think
I'm
it's
sure it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, to all the viewers at home in Austin, I hope you see this part. Don't listen to Austin on Corey LaJoie. He has no idea. Listen, Austin was the reason why I started liking Corey LaJoie. Corey LaJoie used to have this podcast called Sunday Money.
Yep.
And he was like, man, you got to listen to this guy.
It was good. It was good.
He tells it like it is, and he still does. But
Yeah.
you have to understand that entire time he was with Stack and Penny's podcast, he was the Go Fast Racing. They're not going to win anything.
No.
That's like Live Fast Motorsports, right?
Yeah.
Now he's just now in like a good car. He's been with Spire, but Spire was a very top 20-ish car,
Mm-hmm.
and they just now made improvements.
Yeah.
So you really have to judge them
I think
off this year.
I think it's for sure, and I think it's interesting to watch how Spire does. Probably stacked up to me right now against Stuart Haas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Stuart Haas, as far as 4-car teams go, out of the
Legacy.
or Legacy. Even
Yeah.
then, I think Legacy's probably a little bit. They should beat
Worse.
Legacy. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
personally.
I do too.
And so, to me, if they're consistently beating these Stuart Haas cars, I mean, I think they're on the map already. But I'm just saying that is what you would need to see to
Yeah.
put them on the map.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's their biggest competitor right now, and I'm here for the story. Like
Yeah.
let's watch it play out.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good. Corey knows.
I just want Corey to win so bad. Dude, he's going to probably just be so happy in like his like post-race interview.
Oh gosh,
It'll be feel good.
he's gonna cry.
It'll be feel good.
He's gonna cry.
I get to text Austin. You're
Yeah.
a loser. You're wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm just cheering for Corey so bad. Just kidding, Austin.
Any
Hope your hemorrhoids are okay. Or your rash.
Yeah.
Whatever I made.
Whoa. Whoa. Don't be spilling too much.
Yeah, sorry.
So anything else on standouts?
Nah, man,
You
I think
okay?
that's it.
You
Well,
move on? Or
Yeah.
you got anything else? No? You good?
No, I think
Okay.
we're good. Yeah.
Let's move on to my favorite segment that of course, I'm glad to have someone that's also a little bit of a gambler here, and that's our bets. It's our bets. I'm
Yeah.
excited. So I don't know if you know, I've of course been trying to bet around 3 units a race, and right now I'm down 2.3 units.
Okay.
So I lost bad last week. Last week's units. I only hit one.
Who'd you have last week?
So last week I can pull it up right here. I had Ross on half a unit as a winner. I put a little too much into that, and
yeah. No, I agreed with that. I agree with that.
and
Yeah.
but I will say it is, and I'm not making excuses for myself, but I try to, when I do this, when we put this podcast out, that's what I go with. It kills me sometimes when Ross qualifies 15th and I picked him to win.
So you do this pod, and then you see qualifying, and then you're like, already kind of made my bed.
Yes, you do,
That's
but
a man of the people.
exactly. So I'm
Trying
trying
to
to
drop the green. You're here for the people.
That's exactly right.
That's
so
right.
when I say something, I will show you my DraftKings and then I bet on
Yeah.
these guys to win these races. So I had Ross top 5 or to win, and it was
Okay.
plus 800. So what I'm really looking at to hit is a winner. You hit a winner, and my units go through the roof,
Right.
no matter how
Yeah,
much I
'cause they
hit.
have crazy odds.
Yeah, they have crazy odds. So you hit a winner, you're in good shape. So I had Ross plus 800 to win Phoenix, half a unit. And then I took, looking at the last 6 Phoenix races, I took Josh Berry, kind of a value pick, at plus 320 for a top 10. And literally, I knew I was worried, no matter how, unless he had...
He has cup experience.
Yes, he has cup experience, but my thing I was looking at is like when he qualified and literally got moved to the back, I was like, unless he has a freaking rocket ship like Seabell did, you're banking on pit strategy, you're
Yeah.
banking on a late race caution.
Which
and
is
him-
what kind of won the race.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, for sure. I mean, I still think though Seabell deserved to win that race.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was
for
the
sure.
best
He
car.
was the fastest.
So that to me, that one hurt. When I'm literally had already locked this in, and then he qualifies, and then he goes to the back. It's
Yeah.
like, damn. So I had that, and then I Noah Gregston versus Josh Berry. So I did a matchup, and I put a full unit on Josh Berry again, and
Silly goose.
silly goose
Get
me.
back in
I'm
the pond.
Looking back now, I look so silly based on how they qualified. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But again, man of the people. So I took that, but I hit one, which was huge.
Let's
I hit Blaney
go.
top 5, and
Good
what's
bet.
crazy
Good bet.
about it was a good bet. What was crazy though is he passed Ross on the front stretch out of turn 4 on the
Hey.
final lap
Yes.
to bank a top 5, and you're talking about the race is over, and they're just showing Seabell, and show me where Blaney's at.
I know.
And it was
I know.
incredible.
Because FanDuel, that's who I normally use, they had a head-to-head.
Yeah, that's the same thing. They
picked
mostly
the
have the
other
same match. Oh, you picked
Yes,
Ross?
yes. But I did win on one.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is my overall pick. Now, this does not apply to this upcoming race.
Okay.
But my pick to everyone at home is normally on these 1.5-mile tracks, Chevys are normally about plus 100 odds, and it's the best odds
Yeah.
for winning manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
Chevys are normally fantastic at 1.5 miles.
Yes.
So I would encourage everyone at home, not a financial advisor, not responsible, but Chevy Moneyline on 1.5 miles for winning manufacturers. I mean, they've been dominating.
So right now for Bristol, the Toyotas are plus 135.
I believe that.
The Chevys are plus 165, and the Ford is plus 240. So Toyota is the favorite going in, and literally, to me, that's straight based off of Phoenix.
So I don't know if you know this, but we're not running the short track
Package, yep.
We're running the intermediate package.
Mm-hmm. It is gonna.
Do you take Chevy here?
I'm with you. I think it's gonna be interesting, and that's what I'm about to get into. So I'm not calling it a layup. To me, every time my first bet is Larson winner, half a unit. Okay, he's plus 500 right now, and every time I feel like I bet Larson, it's a layup because he is the favorite right now as far as the odds go. I think he's tied with a couple. But you're exactly right. I mean, do you go with Chevy being the best at intermediates? They're running that package. Kyle Larson probably being the best talented. If he qualifies in the top 5, I might put a whole unit on it. Seriously, I might just whatever the odds are again. I might just take it. I got him at plus 500. If it goes to
oh God, take that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Take that now. Look at that, and if he qualifies well, like top 5, and he gets down to plus 250.
After qualifying, he's probably not going to be plus 500.
He may not be. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I would go ahead and do it now. And Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson have ran Bristol very well.
Yeah.
The past 2 years that it's actually been on asphalt.
Mm-hmm.
So, I completely agree with that.
So that's my first pick.
Yeah.
And so I got a half unit on that. So I'm trying to stay 3 units. My next one, and this may bite me in the hind end again, but this is kind of my value pick of the week, and that is going to be Chris Buescher, winner. RFK is back.
They are
back. Fords, granted, are not the favorite to win, but
Chris Buescher does have 2 substitute pit crew members because of a penalty last week.
I think they'll be fine with that. I think they'll be fine with that. I don't think it'll play that much of a factor. It will a little bit probably, but those dudes are working on that. But what I'm getting at is
probably working nonstop.
But what I'm getting at with the value pick is he's plus 1,200.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, sprinkle a little bit on that.
Yes. I got half a unit on that. So, to me, if he wins that, we are, oh my gosh, you guys are going to love me. So, we're hoping Larson covers everything, He may not make us money, but if he wins, we're going to be fine. And then you got Chris Buescher, who's going to just kill it. If he wins, we're in great shape. We're coming back here next week, and we're talking about what we're betting with. And then you're not going to like this one. But I guess you may. I got host of our top 10.
I don't like that.
Okay.
I don't like that, and it's nothing against the car. That's a long race.
It is a long race.
It's a tight race.
It's a tight race.
He's gonna mess up.
Okay.
He's gonna mess up.
I'm taking him. He's at plus 285 for top 10.
Not that I have any kind of stake in this, but are you putting him in your fantasy lineup?
No, probably not.
No, probably
so, and I don't know if I've talked about this before, but when I gamble, I try to pick exactly what I think will actually happen. I'm hoping this will happen. This is how I think the race will play out. When I do my fantasy lineup, I kind of do the opposite.
Why?
And I was talking to JD off the air about this, and it was literally because
James Douglas.
No. Yeah, James Douglas.
Okay.
I did this because if all my bets lose, which means my other drivers probably did well and I had a good week in fantasy. If I put all my eggs in one basket and I lose all my bets, I lose all fantasy.
You ever seen the commercial with the Hispanic girl with the hard soft tacos?
Oh
It's just why not both?
Yeah. I'm just saying if you sprinkle out through the field, hopefully you'll have a better day.
I get that,
so,
but it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. That's
keep
kind of
picking losers in your fantasy.
I'm losing. I'm losing.
What place are you right now?
18th. So
well, I'm 15th.
Okay.
Right, and honestly, it's all really close. I know that's irrelevant to the podcast.
Yeah,
but it's very close.
I mean, it's again
me to 12th is 20 points.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But Like, that's kind of just my reasoning behind it, honestly. So he probably won't be in my lineup.
You think-
If anything, he makes my garage.
You think
If he,
people?
but also, I'll say this.
Okay.
I'll say this before you go on, is I'll also base my fantasy picks off of qualifying. That's why it changes. Okay, that's fine. I'm just telling you that's what I do.
Yeah.
So I make these picks before qualifying, which like I said, kind of bit me in the ass when I
Yeah.
knew Josh Berry was going to start at the very end. I was like, I mean, unless he has like I said, a rocket ship, he's not getting to the front. So
Stuart Haas doesn't have those.
yeah. Oh. So that right there is a unit and a half. So now I have a unit and a half left, and right now I put a unit and a half on a matchup, and my matchup is Willie B versus Blaney. Yeah,
Who are you going with?
Willie B.
Okay.
Willie B is minus 105.
I feel like Blaine. Yeah, I agree with that.
He's
He's gonna have a problem.
who, Blaney?
Yeah,
Okay, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
with
yeah.
you. I hope he does.
I think he does.
I mean, to me, like you said, it's a long race.
I'm gonna rub the crystal ball.
yeah. So I have a unit I have on him. To me, for me to have a good weekend, that's one that's got to hit.
Okay.
And if we hit if we hit that one and any of the other ones, we're having a really good week.
Really good weekend.
A really good week. So I'm trying to play this maybe a little bit smarter and putting a little more eggs in one basket of being like, this is what we need to hit to just break even.
Yeah.
And then these other ones, if they hit along with our break even, we're making money.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm hoping. You got any other picks?
Ricky Stenhouse. Listen, he's
Okay.
not bad at Bristol.
He's not bad.
Lately. Okay. I see your face. You're not buying into what I'm saying. Listen, I just think don't do a straight up pick. But I think Ricky top 10. And
Okay.
you just sprinkle like a half a unit on there.
I like it.
Or maybe
Ricky,
a quarter.
you want Ricky top 10? Do you know what the odds are?
Ricky top 10. And also, for people who don't know what a unit means, because I used to listen to a podcast called Garage Guys,
Mm-hmm.
and they would always say units, and I would have no idea what they talked about or what they were talking about. A unit is whatever amount you feel comfortable betting.
Yes. Yes.
And so I would sprinkle like a quarter of that on just for fun on Ricky Stenhouse in a top 10 because he's kind of, I don't know his stats this year, but I feel like I've seen him run up better than he has, especially last year, and then maybe even this year. And last year he did really well at Bristol. I think he got 8th or 9th.
Okay.
I would put top 10 because there's no way it's like good odds. Like it's got to be, that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying like a quarter, like, you know.
They're actually not on.
On FanDuel?
No, they're not on DraftKings right now. So I'm looking at FanDuel to check his odds. But like you said, they've got to be like plus 650 probably.
Yes,
I mean,
but
they've got to be.
he's not bad there.
So okay, on FanDuel right now they have. You can't even bet on him. Oh wait, nope, sorry, it was loading.
He's way down.
Yeah, he's way down there.
Value pick.
He's not. He's plus 380.
That's not
horrible.
That's not horrible.
I like that. He's not the lowest. I mean, he could be Harrison Burton for a top 10, which would be plus 1,500.
Yeah.
So I like that play. I don't know if I'm personally
it
going to
for
take
fun?
that. Yeah, if I was up right now, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But I mean,
I might do it because these parlays in college baseball have been just nothing but good to me.
Okay, there you go.
I won
So-
9 in a row.
Ooh, let's go. That's good.
Just fade Kentucky, people.
Yeah.
Just fade Kentucky.
Fade Kentucky burn
Fade
me.
Kentucky.
Yeah, so,
Yep.
but you got anything else for bets?
Man, I think that's it.
Okay, so what do we think's going to happen? Now, the first thing I wrote down in my prediction was, thank God no dirt. I'm honestly pretty glad to be back on the asphalt in the spring. Hey,
listen.
Go
so
for it.
The dirt was the stupidest thing in the world, and I loved it. Okay, because it was so funny to me. There's like this video clip. It's under caution, and it had rained, and they're just doing caution laps around Bristol, and they're going around a turn, and Christopher Bell, literally going, I don't know, 50 miles an hour, just slides off them banking. Dude, it was just always, and it was always on Easter, and you're just sitting at home, Easter
Yeah.
night, because you went to church like a good kid in the morning, and then you went and saw your family. But it was so fun to
Yeah.
me. Bristol Dirt,
Always have
I'm-
a special
I'm-
place.
I'm a little bit happy it's gone.
Okay.
I would love to see them bring back maybe a dirt track for the Clash or something, a
Ooh.
non-points race.
Yeah.
But
Like an all-star race maybe too, or something like that.
something like
Yeah.
that, because there's a reason why they tried dirt, and I'm really interested to see the crowd on Sunday,
Yeah.
because that's why they did it, is
Mhm.
because no one was showing up.
Yeah.
Because when you think of Bristol, you don't think of that Bristol Spring Day race, you think of the night race.
Yeah.
So
You do.
that's why they did it. I'll be sad that it's gone. It was fun while it was there. I never hated it. It always made Austin very angry. So I just really enjoyed it every time. And it was kind of fun to watch them get sideways in the corners.
Oh, it definitely was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
and
just
then bump into each other.
personally, like you hit on the nail on the head for me. Is I just don't think it should have been a point race.
No, it
Yeah.
shouldn't have been, because it was a little bit of a gimmick.
Yeah, it was definitely
Yeah.
a gimmick. So that's literally my only beef with it. You literally change that, and I'm probably rooting for it every year.
Yeah.
So
Imagine
I mean,
instead of like Clash at the Coliseum, which nobody cares about,
yes,
they did a dirt race.
that would that would be cool
it would
shit.
be so fun.
Yeah, it would be.
So
it would
fun.
be fun. So,
I do understand why they got rid of it. Drivers hated it. Fans didn't really like it a whole lot. And I understand that. I'm just, if all these fans talk about, they don't want to see dirt, show up the spring race.
there you go.
Track's
Well,
got to pay their bills too.
there you go. You're exactly right.
So,
show up.
Show
Watch
up.
it.
I do like how they're doing a throwback weekend. I don't understand the throwback weekend, because they're not doing throwback schemes like they do at Darlington.
I don't.
So what are they doing? I understand that they painted the walls back to like an OG color of the red and the white, and I'm sure they'll have like a couple, throwback things, for the fans there pre-race. But what else are they really doing that makes this any different?
Your guess is as good as mine. I think they're just maybe like trying to get that old Bristol heritage back. You
Yeah.
know, where
Make the cars better.
you, fair, but I think they tried. They're gonna run that.
Intermediate.
yeah,
package.
so-
same tires as last year though at Bristol.
That's fair, but they have more horsepower. So with the intermediate package,
They're putting resin down.
well, they do that. Feel like everywhere.
Yeah,
So
they do.
I'm hoping that it just creates two lines that you can run, and if you can run two different lines, you're gonna have a good race at Bristol.
Yeah, if not,
If it becomes top dominant or bottom dominant,
it's going to be a single file.
it's going to be a single
school
file,
zone.
and it's going to be a Denny, it's going to be a Larson, it's going to be a William Byron.
like the
that-
first one.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
just drives away. I still, and we can kind of get into this as our closing and stupid questions, but I still look back at being at Bristol when Kevin should have won that race against Chase Elliott.
The closer didn't close.
No, we don't you start with me, buddy. Don't you start with me. You
Yeah.
know that was BS.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Well, that's Chase Elliott for you.
That is.
Hey,
a
but he's never
crying
done
baby.
nothing wrong.
Oh,
He's never done nothing
He's a
wrong. Just
crybaby.
a good old hometown
yeah,
boy.
okay. Go back to Dawsonville where you belong.
Yeah.
So,
just, yeah.
But anything else that you're looking forward to Bristol wise? I'm
I'm
to
just
me.
excited to see what this package does.
Yep.
I'm excited to see how many fans turn out. I'm happy it's back on asphalt or cement.
Yeah, cement. Yeah.
I'm happy to see that it's back on that and kind of see also to give us a good gauge to what the fall race is going to have in store.
Yeah,
because
it-
we had no idea when it
No.
was dirt.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
That what I do think was a cool part that they added to the night race
Yeah.
is you couldn't look back
Yeah.
and see.
this is
yeah,
new.
this is the first time they've raced there,
yeah.
and again, that needs to be a whole nother overview of just like why do we visit the same tracks twice? Like it would be cool to me to not just go to Phoenix once.
Yeah.
Or, go to, maybe not Daytona, but, just go to some of these tracks that are meaningful tracks like Darlington.
Yeah.
Don't go there twice. Go there once.
Whoa.
Again,
Disagree.
okay.
Veto. Dude, Darlington?
I'm
It's one of the best tracks.
It is one of the best tracks.
Where do you want to go twice?
I'm
besides
saying,
Darlington.
I'm saying maybe don't go back to
Kids
tracks
these
twice.
days.
Oh,
Kids
jeez.
these days.
You're a year older than me. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, so the last thing
This
I'll
is a
say
kid show.
about predictions.
You're gonna have to put an explicit next to it. People are gonna have to log in to verify their age. You keep using words like that.
Anyway,
Kid show.
I'll say that the last thing I'm watching is to see what the Chevys do.
Yeah.
And I kind of put that they were sliding a little bit as far as short tracks go. They did not perform.
They did not.
So I'm curious to see, and you hit on it with the new package, how that transpires on the track. So that's my biggest watch. I don't know. I'm hoping Larson wins, because I bet on him. But I'm also hoping Chris Buescher wins. So to me, that's just a good thing to watch.
Me personally, those are two great guys to win. But, I'm a real family guy, so I hope a father of two wins. Denny Hamlin gets another sword.
Yeah, he needs one.
He does.
Yeah.
And go ahead and lock himself into the playoffs.
There you
that
go.
will eventually
That would
win.
take a lot of pressure off him. It would.
It would.
Yeah.
It would.
I mean, because
It's early, though.
It is early. He's got plenty of
Yeah.
time. He's definitely one that's going to point himself in, even if he doesn't win. But I think he's going to win. So,
Yeah.
In closing, you got any stupid questions for us? Hit us with your best stupid question that you think, if you got one.
So my stupid question that I have every time I watch a race and the race starts, these national anthem singers. I have listen.
True.
When you watch the NFL, when you watch MLB, when you watch literally anything, you've at least maybe heard a song for somebody that's out there singing. They have daggum Phil's daughter from Tired Discounters out there singing the national anthem. Nobody knows who they are. Do we not have enough money that we can pay for good? The only time that we ever have people perform that we know is at the Clash or at the 500.
Yep.
Every now and then in the Talladega.
Yeah.
In field.
Yep.
Well, this year they have Walker Hayes, by the way. Can't stand Walker Hayes.
Ooh.
Dude, cringe.
At
Cringe.
Talladega?
Applebee's guy? That's who you have perform? Dude, what? How far out of reality are they that they think that we want to listen to Walker Hayes?
They're pretty far.
Chase Elliott fans probably want to
Yeah.
listen to Walker Hayes.
They got Applebee's as a ringtone.
Anyway, I just hate how we don't have good entertainment, and
That's fair, and that kind of leads into I also think I know the Grand Marshals as well kind of goes into who's sponsoring the track.
Yeah,
so
they have the CEO
of
riding
Food
the pace
City,
car.
yeah,
and
and to me there's been better ones, and to me it's all about who. Of course, as far as national anthems go, it's how you do, but the passion that you have, especially when it comes to the Grand Marshal. You don't want to hear someone go, "Drivers, start your engines." You want to hear, "Drivers!" Yeah, you want to hear it.
The Rock did a good job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski
Yeah.
did an amazing job.
Yeah.
And so it's just get people, not just celebrities, but they can be anyone, because I understand that you have to do what you have to do, sponsor-wise. But just when you're asking these people to do it, make sure they want to be there.
Yeah.
Just fire them up. And that
Yes.
goes to the national anthem singers, too. It's not just a paycheck. We want, as fans, NASCAR is such a passionate sport, I
Yeah.
feel like, in everything. I mean, you're strapping in to a car where you could die. You
Yeah.
want to hear someone sing the national anthem just because they know the words?
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
exactly.
Yeah.
You want to hear it. You want to hear Chris Stapleton.
I want to hear Shakira.
Exactly.
Yes.
You want to hear someone that loves to sing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No,
I think that's a good question. Why does NASCAR not just sprinkle, if it's money, why do they not sprinkle a little bit more on that as far as fan experience goes? I mean, you know that the person that's singing the national anthem is sticking around for the race. I
Yeah.
mean, they're probably not leaving. So, like, literally get people that would probably never watch the sport, ask them. Like,
Yeah.
and maybe they
Bring
are.
them to a race.
Maybe they are, and we're wrong, and they're just turning them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we may be.
We
But
might be.
but I want to
Can you
see. I
imagine
want to.
they go through a list of celebrities and like, okay, we instead have the vice president of communications for Advent. Hell,
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Everybody
Exactly.
just says no.
Exactly. So that's a good question. I know we normally only do one stupid question, but my girlfriend, I asked her for a
Mhm.
stupid question because I
Yeah.
thought, no offense to her, but she's not as into it as me. And I was like, what would you think you wanted to know?
Did you phrase it as a stupid question? Or
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, I
good.
said stupid question.
Okay,
So
yeah.
her question was,
I made her feel
and
bad.
I think this is good. Kind of. Why do you have to go to the back when you make adjustments to your car? She wants to know that. So you make adjustments after qualifying. You can make them after practice. You can make adjustments and then you qualify. And then if you make adjustments there, so say you're running 8th. Okay, you qualified 8th, and you want to make an adjustment. It in my mind, once she said it, it kind of makes sense. Like,
Okay.
why are we stopping guys from continuing to work on their car? You know what I mean?
Well,
But, go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so
yeah, be
that-
devil's advocate here. I'm
that
just
guy
trying to
that finishes 8th.
Mhm.
Okay,
in
like-
qualifying.
They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
or qualifying.
Yeah.
He's like, man, if I was just a little bit more loose in the corners or a little bit more tight in the corners, and he does that, then he knows out of all the field, they've all ran their time laps, that this will make him first.
Well, I know, but if you adopt that rule per se, and
And
again,
everyone
just
gets to do it.
everyone gets to do it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if everyone gets to do it, it makes more sense. Now, if you have one person do it, you couldn't. That would never work because, like you
Okay,
said.
I see what you're saying.
But imagine you would know if
But what about
if
the
Denny
teams that
Hamlin.
have more resources than
That's
then-
100% fair. I'm just playing
know?
devil's advocate here, talking
like
about the
Corey
question.
LaJoy trying his best out there? Great
Yeah.
race car driver. That was to Austin. Yeah, I mean they don't have probably 5 engineers sitting around like Hendrick does,
Yeah,
so they could probably make better adjustments.
yes, but they still built a car. You know what I mean? They know their car, and if their driver goes, hey, also, I think that qualifying, you trim it out, of course, for qualifying, and then you kind of go with a different package. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have a qualifying car, and then you tone it back to where it can drive in the field. So you know,
Okay.
so you know what I mean.
Yeah, I see what
And
you're
that's
saying.
not an adjustment. They let
Yeah.
that slide.
Yeah.
So it's like it is weird. She kind of made sense on that part. Like why do some? Because it's not an adjustment. It's like a whole different car. You trim it out for qualifying,
Yeah.
and then but you're running a different car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm trying to make sense. So I'm sorry if it doesn't make sense, and maybe I'm not explaining it right. But it's just one of those things to think about. Of like, why
Why are you punishing people for?
trying to do better?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but I will say to the fact that like if Larson or Denny, if Denny qualifies first,
Yeah.
he's probably not going to go back and make any adjustments. You know what I mean? Everyone else, 2 through the field of 30, they're going to try to improve their car.
Is that fair to the person? who
Exactly.
qualified first,
You're
though?
exactly right. That's kind of what I'm getting at too.
Yeah.
Is like, is that fair? Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. So I just thought it was interesting.
That is
It
interesting.
is kind of interesting to think about if you kind of just break it down of what they can do to their car after qualifying and what puts them in the back.
Yeah.
And again, maybe I'm missing a whole rule that we don't even know about, that you can change certain things and you can't.
Because
and-
I've seen like Bob Pockris say something like unapproved adjustments.
Exactly.
So
That's what
are
I'm
there
getting at.
approved
There's approved
adjustments?
adjustments, but if you make an unapproved adjustment,
You
so
go back.
maybe there's a
So what does
list
that
of
mean?
yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Yeah.
And that's the one thing that like, and maybe I'm not a NASCAR nerd enough to know what the list of approved adjustments are.
Yeah.
So, but then again, to her, someone who sits with me and watches these races, I can't explain that to her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm
You
just
make
like,
something up.
you
That's
have
what I
to
do.
exactly.
That's what I do.
You
I'm like,
kinda,
well, you
yeah,
did.
exactly. You kind of have to
Yeah.
pull that on them. You kind of
Yeah.
you get like, I don't know, and you don't want to look at the. I mean, we watch every race.
Yeah.
We're here making a podcast. I mean,
Yeah.
we're in the NASCAR experience, and we don't
Yeah.
even know some of the rules. So it's like NASCAR maybe as a whole commission, or as they go into media, talk about these things more.
Yeah.
You know, like what are the rules on adjustments? And again, that may just me being ignorant and not knowing, and they're out there.
Yeah.
But it was just when I asked her, I was like, that's kind of a good question.
That is a
you
good
know,
question.
for someone that
'Cause
wouldn't
I don't
know.
the answer to what's
Exactly.
an approved and what's an unapproved adjustment.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
to me, that was a good one. So those are stupid questions for the week. What's your best memory of Bristol?
My favorite memory of Bristol is probably during COVID. They had the All-Star race there with the underglow lights. I don't know if you remember
Yes,
that.
I was at that race.
Yes,
Yeah.
and,
It's
we had to
beautiful.
wear a mask
Yep.
going in, and then they did not care.
Dude,
It made no
we
sense.
don't have to get into COVID, but that shit was
But
wild.
that was fun.
Yeah.
I had a really good time at that race.
I thought about throwing. I didn't know if that was going to be your memory, but I
That was my
had pictures queued up of that race of us
Really?
at it. Do you remember? I still have it. I wish I would have actually brought the mask, but it said it's Bristol baby
Yes,
on it. Yeah,
yes,
and they
yes.
handed them out.
Yes,
you know,
yes,
and
if you didn't have one.
yeah, if you didn't
Yeah.
have one, they were at the Food Cities. You could go get one.
Mhm.
And to me, that mask right there again will be like something I show my kids.
Yeah,
That'll
'cause
be
it's
like-
like a time period.
Yeah, that they will
that's
never
wild.
understand. Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
never understand unless it happens again. Unless
Yeah.
there's another pandemic, they'll never understand what it was like having to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And to me, that right there was like, I think literally the first event that I went to during COVID.
Masks would get so dirty on the inside.
Yes. Oh
Yeah,
my
no
God,
thanks.
mine's and I wore it so much after that too because
did
I thought it
too,
was
'cause
cool
You had to wear them at school
Yep.
and stuff like that. I wore that Bristol mask.
all the time. So
Yes.
that's a good memory. My memory is I think you were there. I don't remember. We went literally, I think the year before that, and we tried to get our picture at the Bristol sign.
Tried to fight us.
Yes, that's my memory of
I remember
Bristol.
that. Yes,
That's my
yes.
favorite
We were
memory.
Like, hey man, will you take our picture? And he's
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
out of
so to
nowhere.
explain to people that don't know
Yes.
is there is a sign at Bristol that literally
That was after.
It was after Bristol,
It
but
was
there's a
after.
huge
No,
sign.
that was after COVID.
It was after COVID?
It was after COVID.
Okay, maybe I'm sorry. Maybe I got my
Yes.
timelines mixed up. So it was literally
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Because
It wa-
the
but it was
All-Star
still
race
the-
was the first time I ever been there, and then I was there for that.
And that was the night race.
That was the night race.
Yes.
Yes.
So he's exactly right. So but there's a sign that and everybody knows if you're a NASCAR fan it's Bristol baby. That's the saying.
Yeah.
And there's a sign that has Bristol in big letters, and then literally Bristol's huge, and then its baby is just
There.
as big. I mean, it's big.
Yeah.
So there's a sign that everyone gets their picture beside. So we took a group of guys. There was like it was me, you, Austin, Logan, Garrett, and Wayne. I think there were 6 of us. Was Wayne? I'm pretty sure. No, it was just Garrett. I know Garrett was there. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was 5. There were 5 or 6 of us. And so after the race, we went up, and I do remember. Do you remember when Austin was wearing a Corey LaJoy shirt? He was wearing a Corey LaJoy shirt at that
Yeah.
race.
Hey,
So
isn't that
there-
crazy? He was wearing a Corey LaJoy
He
shirt.
was. He was wearing a Corey LaJoy shirt. So
Okay.
we go up, and you wait. You just wait in line like a
Yeah.
normal human. You wait in
Yeah.
line to get your picture taken
Yeah.
at the
Simple.
Bristol baby sign.
Yes.
Okay, and we were
Yes.
like, we've had some drinks. We've had a good time. The race was great,
Yeah.
and all you do is just ask the people in front of you
Hey.
to take your picture. That's
Yeah.
what everybody had done. We were not doing anything out of the ordinary of
Didn't
anybody
say
else.
anything
We didn't say
rude.
anything. We're
Yeah.
literally waiting in line. They take 5 or 6 pictures, and it's literally 3 guys, 1 older guy and 2 guys probably about our age. Okay,
Yes, yes.
and we were clearly all had drinks. Okay, and
Those guys especially.
yeah, they
More
had
than
had
us.
yes,
Yeah.
which is saying something.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we are there, And we just asked them, hey, can you guys take our picture? And they go, what? They looked at us like we were speaking a different language. They're like, hell no, we're not taking your fucking picture. And I'm like, oh, okay, man.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah.
And Austin it says I believe he said something to the effect of, oh, dude, nice. They were all Chase Elliott fans. Said, nice Chase Elliott shirt.
Yeah.
Did you pull that dildo out of your ass before you came here? And oh my gosh, that set them off.
Yes, it did.
And they literally wanted to fist fight us to get our picture made at Bristol. So that's kind of my favorite memory. And moral of the story, we did get our picture taken. It was not by them. No blood was shed, but we made them walk away. I will say that. We made them walk away.
We did.
It was their time to go.
There was also like 5 or 6 of us and 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly. So we had numbers.
We did have numbers. That helped.
And again, the other guy was like 2 were our age, so maybe they would have put up a fight. But the other guy was like 55,
60.
Yeah, 60. He was old, so he was the grandpa of the group.
He was.
And but that just goes to you to what Chase Elliott fans are.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta watch them.
That's the moral of this podcast.
Yeah. That's exactly right. So that's my favorite memory. So where are you watching the race this weekend?
I think it's going to be at Bristol.
Let's go.
I think it's
to the race too.
You're going to the race?
We're going to the
Okay.
race. It's I'm excited. You know, of course, we're here out of Knoxville, so this is kind of
gonna be
our home
close.
track. Yeah. For Knoxville, I kind of considered maybe Nashville my home track, but Bristol's right there. I
Yeah.
love Bristol. Been several times. I think the racing's fantastic.
Yeah.
And
it's a
let's
football atmosphere.
yeah, and
Yeah.
let's pray for no rain.
I don't think it's supposed to rain.
I saw a little bit of chance in the morning, so
Okay.
but I'm hoping just they get the
can dry that
track.
track
Yeah, they can
super
get the
dry.
yeah.
They
so
do have rain tires there, but I don't think that they're going to use them.
yeah, I hope they don't. So that's all I'm kind of praying for. But
Yeah.
what an episode, Colby. How does
What
it
an
feel?
episode. Man,
First episode,
I-
feel good.
yeah, man. I've had a lot of fun.
Good man.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for staying with us. I
Thank
know the. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. The music wasn't there, but hey, we're getting better every week, and I thank you for staying with us. Give us a like, subscribe. It's gonna be a good one, and we'll see you after Bristol. Hopefully on Wednesday this time.
It's
So
Bristol, baby.
that's right. Be good.
Go
See
Denny.
y'all.